Welcome to the Culturally Distinct Podcast. This is your boy DJ KO.
Jack in the building.
TV from the SIP, I'm back.
And we have a special
Where you
guest.
Huh?
Nothing.
And we have
room.
TB is back. He finally back. He went off to the country and he came back.
We're gonna go with that.
We have a special guest in the building today. This person, she's a HBCU grad. Kudos to that. She's an educator. She's a candidate for a doctorate degree. She's a member of multiple social clubs. She's the author of a book, and she's also an athlete. Everybody, welcome to the show, Miss Amanda Materre.
Welcome, Jared.
Go Jags. Where's Jags? Where is that? Southern University?
Come on, man.
Shout out to Southern. Before we get started, I want to shout out to Southern for raising $5 million. We had to give back to Southern. The alumni, I can say we because I did donate.
I did too.
We raised $5 million for the incoming freshmen and for athletics and for different organizations around the university. So kudos to Southern University for that.
Institution as a whole.
So, Miss Amanda, how you doing today?
I'm good. How
Welcome,
y'all doing?
welcome first of all to the show.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Could you tell the people a little bit about yourself, if you don't mind?
So, I am a native Houstonian, born and raised, proud to be. Currently, I am a second grade teacher.
Okay.
Like you
Bless
said,
your
I
heart.
do. I love
Bless
my
your
babies
heart,
though.
man.
I'm so passionate about helping the kids.
Patience.
Yeah, right. I said I'm just a humble, down to earth kind of person. I love to work hard, and I want to do something that's going to change the world and make an impact. That people are just gonna leave a legacy behind for other people to be inspired by, and that's about it. Yeah.
Change the world. So,
I want to change the world.
so in the midst of this climate that we're dealing with, how can we change the world with a lot of this stuff going on?
So I feel like one of the best ways to change the world is try to get away from the tried and true practices. And that's one thing that we learn about in the classroom, but it actually applies to, other areas in life as well. Sometimes people think, we have an old school way of thinking, some things are too good to be true. We let our fears from our family members that they had a reason why they weren't successful, try to, get into our visions and our dreams. And we work more for clout instead of wealth and legacy. I think if we change our perspective and change our narrative, that's one way we can change the world.
Absolutely.
Clout.
Oh.
What is clout?
Do anything
That's
for
a new
clout.
term. I never heard that term before. I heard what's the McCarty B?
You never heard of clout?
Did
I
you say
never heard that word
McCarthy?
before.
Offset got a whole song about doing
I don't
anything.
know who
You're a
Offset
DJ.
is.
How do you not
I don't
do
listen.
anything for clout?
So
Lies.
to everybody out
Don't
there,
start
I don't
that.
listen to
Don't
those
start
terms
that.
like that. Those urban.
Urban Dictionary term?
Yeah, I don't know what clout
He
is.
can't pronounce
Oh, you
them.
forgot where you came from.
No,
huh?
I did.
He can't
I just
pronounce
evolved.
them.
It's the
He
difference
can't
between
pronounce them,
evolving.
TV.
He can say clout. I trust
Say
it.
it. Try it.
Clout.
Clout.
Say that in a
See, you put
sentence.
a P on the end.
Clout.
Try it again. It's with a T.
Do
Clout.
anything for clout.
Oh, I thought you didn't know. I thought you didn't know. Okay.
Yeah, we lie.
If
It
you're
came
the one
back.
supposed
Yeah,
to
we
say
lie
I
that
don't
quick.
care who tell it. He just wants to be
Say
told.
your lies, bro.
Right.
So look, what motivated you to be a educator?
I think I've always wanted to be an educator. I like to, so before I started teaching, I had a brand development company. I won a grant when I was at Xavier. And it was really to help young adults become acclimated to the workforce because for whatever reason, we think of jobs and not careers. And we don't ask the right questions when we are working with career services and have all these, college resources available to us. And so I wanted to help them get what they needed to get. And then I ended up doing it actually for people and businesses.
Okay.
Got into a partnership with Houston Community Colleges. Shout out to y'all. And then started teaching opportunity workshops to teach people how to brand with what they have. So many people think I have to wait to brand myself to a certain point in time. You can do whatever you want to do.
Okay.
You just have to learn how to work with what you have. And so I became a teacher because I wanted to open my own school and put all those business things, together to be able to become a better educator because there's certain things that you just learn in the classroom. Right. Like you can be an educator in any field, but you need what we call that pedagogy, that experience to really be able to give your content to anybody. And that's it, So that's why I became an educator. And, when God has a calling on your life, you just kind of have to go with it.
Yeah.
And so I'm just listening and, just walking. That's it.
So why HBCU? Why you chose to go to HBCU? Because I'm pretty sure, you're an educated sister. You had a lot of options and you're an athlete also. So that means, the field of education is very wide.
Right.
Why did you choose HBCU?
I appreciate education a whole lot more from an HBCU.
Okay.
Because I could have
Why
gone.
so?
Just because, I mean, I have my ancestors on my back. You know,
Okay.
that are, I was able to
on,
walk
pressure.
through certain doors that
finna
they
go
weren't able
somewhere
to.
now.
Right? I said,
Conversation
I didn't want to
finna
go
go
deep,
somewhere
but I was
now.
like, here we
Come on.
go.
Hey, LC blowing cold. It's time for it.
I feel like, I owed it to my ancestors and to be around people who look like me for so long. When I'm a black girl that plays tennis. Most of those, the schools that have tennis programs are going to be, PWIs or primarily white.
Mostly
high schools.
European.
You're
Correct.
native of Houston?
Correct. Yes.
Okay.
So, so when I went to it, my parents were like, you could go anywhere else you wanted to go, but having to have those African American, experienced classes and having, all these black educators surrounding me and supporting me, and then I could walk on campus and you just wouldn't say, "Oh, what sport do you play?"
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Basketball.
It was right, right. Do you run track or you one of those girls?
Yeah,
Are
track
you like
runner.
Serena and Venus? I'm like, wow. But yeah, no, I felt like like I said, I owed it to, family and tradition to do something different. I don't believe in, white is right, and you can go to a great institution that is a HBCU and still, be successful. And I think we need to make that okay. We need to be okay with the fact that I go to HBCU and it still holds as much weight as LSU does, as Loyola does, as Tulane does. And it's one of the best experiences I ever had. And I'm so glad.
I have a difference of opinion.
Go for it.
Even though I attended HBCU, and shout out to the HBCU that I attended,
Which one did you attend, sir?
the one in Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
The name?
So back
That
to
you
my
tried
question.
to play football for. What's the name
Baton
of
Rouge
it?
Community College.
As I got older and I
Yeah,
evolved,
he went to BRCC.
You went to Delgado?
I think that
Delgado.
opportunity is not only there. Now, for the experience that I had there, I will always go back and do that again.
You say you don't feel opportunity is there?
No. The opportunity that I had, I felt that it was good.
Okay.
But for, like you said earlier, you talked about wealth and legacy. Even though some things are street value, you got to learn on the streets. But I think at HBCU, not just saying HBCU, but most colleges, they don't teach you qualities of wealth or how to earn wealth
That's
or
not
how
the,
to
that's,
gain
that's
wealth.
not the college's responsibility.
not there.
That starts
I
at
don't
home.
know. You go to
Listen,
Harvard, Princeton,
no,
they teach you how to.
No, they don't.
They teach you how
No, they
to
don't.
start
No, they
businesses and
don't.
have people work
But-
for you versus you work for people.
But that's the difference in what your mindset is different. So, what Amanda is speaking of is what we're used to. I can guarantee
What
you
is that?
when you go to Folsom, you go to my mom's house, back in the day, you can ask your uncles, you can ask your mama, whoever. They brought somebody home. The first thing they wanted to know, who your people, where you come from. You had to have something. I can tell you for a fact, my grandmother made sure in Monroe, Louisiana, West Monroe, Louisiana, you knew who the Hamiltons were. Everybody knew Virgin. My grandmother made sure that her, as they say now, her brand, her wealth, her generation, her family, you knew who we were. That's built at home to make sure you have generational wealth, that you have something to fall back on. You have legacy. Even to the point of you notice that the other race, a lot of their families, they have a crest. It's to the same side of you see at your Ole Miss, your A&M, your UT, all those guys come out of college with a class ring. That ring speaks volumes. If you ever watch House of Cards, Kevin Spacey used to always hit his ring on the table. That ring, it carries something. I'm not putting that on the school.
I say
I'm
that.
not.
The reason why I say that because if my child wanted to go there,
Right.
but
But what are you going to send them there with?
If they had the education,
What are you sending them there with?
I'm about to answer the question.
Okay.
If you let me get to it.
Make it plain,
And
preacher.
look,
Hey, you
if-
got an
if-
AT mode now. You ready?
if they wanted to go somewhere else to expand their view, to learn, I'm gonna give them the core values, the foundational values. As a child, you got to learn on your way. But at the same time, those foundational values. Nothing is wrong with my uncle, cousin, neighbor. We all, we're in the tribe, but we all went to the same school. At the end of the day, what am I doing economically for my people? Because once you go to school and you graduate, then what?
Well, the question is, I think the question we have to ask ourselves when we talking about HBCUs, did the HBCU choose you or did you choose the HBCU? Because you're going to have a totally different feeling and outlook once you go through that process, because it's a process.
Because your
For
Howards,
financial
your
aid,
Hamptons,
before
those
you-
places have different
absolutely
outcomes.
different experiences. So after you walk that stage, you got that paper, then you got to look yourself in the mirror. What did you give to that HBC? You just can't go take, because we need actual hands. We need
Absolutely.
working people to bring something to it.
And that goes back to the endowment side of it. So endowment is basically what am I
Family.
bringing back to the university?
Yeah.
So, but if I don't have a job to give back, you see what I'm saying?
But let me tell you something else we do culturally as a people. We are quick, be it the mother, the father, even if it's the father for child support if the family isn't married, the mother because they're just tired because the father was absent and they're just tired. We are the first culturally to push our kids out of the house at 18.
That's
to
true.
push our kids out of the
Go
house.
get yours. I
Go
got
get
mine.
yours. I got mine.
Yeah.
You'll hear kids being told that often. I got mine.
And when you go get it, they want you to come
And you
back
owe
and give.
me
You owe me something.
But in the other cultures, it's a family pot. It's
All right.
a pool.
This is
it's
what
a
we
thought
gonna do.
process.
This is our
you
plan.
can stay
Yeah.
here. I'm gonna give you a car. I'll make sure you have a house. I'm gonna have you a solid
Speak on it.
foundation.
Speak
I'm
on
gonna
it.
open some credit in your name.
That's
I'm gonna
right.
get you a
Credit.
business
Speak on
credit.
it.
Oh my-
I think we have to, as a people, we have to change our core values
Right.
and like what we think is good. I had a podcast interview on Monday, and we talked about education. You know, as far as from cultural aspects. When I was growing up, I was told I was an Oreo. The first racial encounter I had was between another two black people. You know what I mean?
Because your eyes are light.
Right, because my eyes are light. The way I articulate my words.
Are you
I'm
white on the
so
inside?
Elegant
Speak white.
speaker. Right, I speak white. I sound like an Amanda. I sound like a Kelly. I sound like
Oh my God.
Oh my
from
God.
the valley.
I'm from the valley.
So
And
next time I have a dispute with a bill,
I will
I'ma
call
let you
on the
talk
phone.
to him.
You know
I need my credits. Give me a 2-month credit.
My husband does
Amanda.
not play this. This is ridiculous. Okay. I'm going to call my
Right.
daddy because he has
Hey,
a
that's a
Platinum
business.
Express card.
That's a business right there.
As I say, I will be your Karen.
Yes, Karen. Shout out to Karen.
But yeah, all that.
Audio Karen.
Oh, yeah. Oh God, that's funny. No, but we have to make being educated cool. We have to make
Okay.
when you become an athlete. My parents were really big on making sure that I was not just a body, that I had a brain behind it. Because one thing that happens, even if you whether you be at a HBCU or a PWI, we belong to the institution.
Absolutely.
Like I signed my life away to NCAA when I was a junior in high school.
Yeah.
So my walk, my talk, my everything was pretty much paid for, and then I got my life back when I graduated. But during that time that they paid for my institution, it's up to me to make the most of that free education. And then I needed to reach out to the advisors to figure out what was good. But in the midst of me doing that, I wasn't cool because I started a business in college.
Okay.
You don't want to relax. You don't want to have a good time. You don't want to party. You don't know
Facebook
the
was
hottest
started in
music.
college.
Yeah, and then they have what is it? I don't know, Dreams and Nightmares.
Yeah.
I can't recite that word for word.
You talking about
With
Meek
Meek Mill,
Yeah.
all I got is hold up, wait a minute. Y'all thought I was
either.
finished.
Oh, okay. You're not
and I'm
urban
just
enough.
like,
You're not urban enough.
oh yeah, I'm not black enough.
It's okay. Me
Right.
either.
And so I'm just like,
Black is not a term.
I
It's
didn't know the
urban.
name of the
Okay.
song.
and so that's why I'm just like, it's not. We have to change the values. Being financially literate, that's cool. Making sure that I understand what a
Yes.
credit score is, and I'm not trying to, let me buy a big car, but I can't afford even my mortgage, or I've been renting all this time these penthouses, but I would be much better if I just bought a house for myself. But we as a culture don't support
don't.
those people who are willing to go outside the mold, because it's like, who do you think you are? You're black. You've never been on food stamps.
Right.
You've never done on this. So who do you think you are?
We feel bigger is better.
And
Right,
I think
and it's not.
I think my
not.
biggest thing also, I'm looking at a down the road deal. So
Mm-hmm.
the reason why we need to preach economics, because we need a base.
Correct.
In order to have a base, we have a voice in politics. We see what's going on right now in politics. It's chaotic, right? But out of all this stuff, at the end of the day, we as black people still don't have an agenda.
Where does it start though?
Economics.
That's the
Where?
That
No,
money.
no, no.
That's hard,
Where,
bro.
but where
That's
do the
hard.
economic
It
conversations
starts
start?
from the grade school.
No, it starts
starts at the
beyond
home.
grade school. So what I need you to do, I need you to go watch what's the Good Brother Killer Mike on Netflix.
Not climate control.
I forgot the name.
I'm gonna have
of
to
it.
look it up
Yeah,
because
I'ma
I
look
look.
it up.
And I told you, he purposefully tried to navigate just Georgia from one place to the next. What he had to do was show
And he almost
using
killed
everything and anything that he did had to be blacked on. He wouldn't ride the bus. The bus company was black, but the people who made the tires weren't black.
He wanted to stay black.
All
keep
of
it
those
black.
things
Trigger
were there.
warning.
Trigger warning. That's what. Yeah.
So just like he went to the barbershop, and have you ever seen the movie The Green Book? The Green Book was a thing that we could only travel by in the country
Correct.
because those were the places we could go and
right.
still have your life trying to travel. Well, even with that, him going to this barbershop in a small town in Georgia, the guy told him this street used to be full of black businesses, but what happened is we flourish, we get a little bit of money, we go.
Move out.
But in other cultures, the dollar makes a turn at least 7 times before it moves. We don't have
Can I
that
ask a
mindset,
question? Those
and that
cultures-
happens before home. I mean, that happens at home.
I don't know.
Well,
Yes, it does.
it does because it's that mindset. Other races don't want to move from their races. They're trying to move away from us.
But
He
you know
did
what?
that already.
I think the issue was this, and how our elders they did that. The reason why they
We
did
are
that.
the elders now.
Well, now I'm talking
So know
about when
that.
we was kids, because integration was a thing, and now when we start integrating into these white societies, we wanted to be just like them or be equal, quote unquote. Back then, everything was segregated.
I want to be better.
You know what I'm saying?
I
But
wanna
I'm
be
saying that's
equal
why
to
everybody had land. They had property. They had stuff to pass down to their kids because we only had so much, so we just kept it. So when we started getting integrated, same thing in sports. Everything, like I think I was hearing something about Jackie Robinson. We had Negro leagues, right? But when Jackie Robinson, one black person, integrated into the MLB, that depleted the whole Negro league.
We
'Cause they
traded
can
one
see- 'cause they
player
can
for
see what you
8
can do.
teams. Yeah, because we had 8 teams
You
at
see
that
what I'm
time.
saying?
Yeah.
So it's the same thing. Because it's not as easy as it said, because our grandparents and our great grandparents had it to where that's all they had.
Right.
Right?
That's it. They had each other.
But
And
it's
they
the,
had a
it's the
community.
mindset that white is better.
And that's like I said, like, white is
everything.
right.
Every movement we had, we traded it for. Hey, if we go over there with them, they not gonna hate us no
What
more.
you have to do is look at every situation as a character building situation. It's
Right.
an opportunity. What do you take from it? Yes, at that time, our ancestors, our family thought they didn't have anything else. Like TB said, at some point, you're going to have to swallow your pride, be brave enough to say, nah, we not folding. We're going to keep Jackie. What you going to offer us to get Jackie to your team? What about my other place? At that time, they were too afraid to do
no,
so.
they wasn't doing that.
But we are educated, well-versed enough, open enough to see what the platform is, what the option. Even when it comes down to like now, like you say with tennis, the NFL players, whatever. If all of the NFL players walked and wanted to make their own Negro League in football, it could. You would have no more American Football League, National Football League, because
Facts.
we make up the majority of that.
Absolutely.
Correct.
But like you said, Amanda, it's the thought of the fear. It's the change. It's paralyzing. People do not like fear. They do not like the unknown. Unknown
right.
is paralyzing to people because you get in your comfort zone. This is safe. I make this money because it goes back to your hierarchy. I have a roof over my head. I have clothes on my back. I have
Right.
food to
I'm
eat.
safe.
I'm afraid to jeopardize that.
Correct.
And see, when I was getting scouted for scholarship, so I was maybe 1 out of 5 black girls that came from out of Houston,
Okay.
and we were solid. Like we would hate, so they so tricky. They would make us play each other in the round of 16, round
Right.
of 32,
Right.
because to have an all black final, that's ridiculous. And then when I would see my sister, and I call them my sisters, when I would see my sisters on the other side of that net, like I'm fighting back tears, just like I'm gonna play you.
Somebody gonna lose.
But I'm glad
Like
that 1 and
Serena
2
and
is
Venus, you have
1
to
and
play
2
your
period.
sister.
Right, 1 and
Right,
2
right.
period. They gonna have our names in lights. Them other girls, whatever. But it's like, when you're going through that, I see the Snickers. They see me as a black girl that's just tearing everybody up.
And I'm powerful.
My dad had my headphones on at all times. He said, block them out. I would walk in there like I own the place. He was like, no, don't put your head down even if you lose. Head up. And so, y'all feel that confidence getting back in me right now.
Right.
Right? I started talking my
It
stuff.
was instilled in you, though.
Yeah,
Right.
and
You
so
understand?
And
we
so
had,
it starts at home.
yeah, because you have some black girls that they changed.
Okay.
They didn't want to be, no Afrocentric anymore. Here I am, my little, Wilson's bag I done had since I was 6, playing out there with my little Walmart stuff, but I still tore your behind up with Nike from head to toe. And the crazy part about it is they thought they had to assimilate. They had to forget who they were in order to get scholarship offers and be like them. But most of the coaches liked my swag. They liked how I carried myself, and I was always going to be Amanda.
Confidence.
And so people don't realize when you're confident in who you are and whose you are, you impossible. Like, you're
Right.
unstoppable. Like, it's impossible to stop you because that confidence is just moving forward. And so I feel like then you don't become intimidated, you become intimidating.
Right.
And that's between
Okay.
them and them to take care of. That don't have nothing to do with you.
Right.
You know, we talk about history and we talk about moments in history. I really appreciate this moment. I appreciate this shit we going through because if it's
needed.
cool to be black again. Like, it's cool to be black. Like, everybody want to niche on it. Now, I will say to y'all corporation that said y'all was going to hire more black people, let me see
Hey,
something.
this is the
Wells
best time
Fargo
to get
said-
Let me
hot.
see something,
Wells
man.
Fargo says y'all aren't qualified.
That's what he said. Let me see something. But I was saying, it's like it's cool for us to talk the way we talk, wear our hair the way we want to hair, and, be,
Right.
and show that unity. So I'm excited for the moment, but we do have to
Keep it going.
we have
That's
to
all.
identify what we want and what we need. And like you were saying, KO, with the economics, hey, some of us passed that point. So how do we get that knowledge when you got these European guys, these white guys, they getting that from 5 years old? You know what I'm saying? So Kaysen, he's going to be able to compete on that level with
He is.
much of us. It's some 25-year-olds don't even know anything about credit.
What's a
and
portfolio?
Yeah,
What's
don't know
credit?
nothing about that.
And I'm not saying
You can rent rims.
divide.
You can rent hair.
You can rent anything,
You
right?
can rent anything. So why do I need to own it?
But I'm
That's
not saying
tough,
I'm
man.
not saying divide the groups. I'm just saying first be pro black with us, understand us, then we can do business with.
You know,
Someone else.
I have a slightly different view.
Okay.
Be pro you.
Yes, I was gonna
I'm
say
black.
But be pro you. You have
have no
but no,
choice.
you have to have the confidence in who you
Yeah,
are,
explain that.
regardless of your skin color.
Okay.
Like Amanda says, you have to be able to say, I'm that ish.
Okay.
Regardless. There is no other, there is no, as they say, there is no competition. I'm it.
Right.
And people are not going to tell you that you special.
No.
They going to let you continue to be mediocre.
Are they supposed to?
Shit, nah. You're
Right.
right. They don't. My friends
gotta
do.
know it on
the
your-
people
in
I
yourself.
love do because
Right.
that's my support system. I
Right.
don't
Right.
expect everybody to jump on my bandwagon. You dig? But you just got to walk in that purpose, know your self-worth, and
Just
like Kel
recognize my
said,
wagon.
absolutely.
So
Put your shoulder back and walk in that room.
So speaking of confidence, I see that you started some courses a while back called Boss Up courses.
Workshops, yeah.
Yeah. So what you could tell us about that?
So I know I'm different. I'm not supposed to fit in
At
and
all.
I own that. And I know they have already seen these, your regular business courses, marketing 101 and how to do this 202. And I was like, I just want the boss up. I just want the boss up workshop. And what does that mean? Boss up, like for real. And then, get yourself together, get your brand together. And so I did that for free for about, I want to say 9 semesters
Okay.
with
wow.
ACC just to kind of get my feet wet. And shout out to Mr. Ravi Brumbrot, who saw me and was just like, you really want to do something and I'm going to give you the tools. So if you ask for the keys to the kingdom, you just might get them.
Ask and it
Is that,
shall
is
be
that
given.
course just for
It
our
was
females
everybody.
or everybody?
It was everybody.
Okay.
And so when I had the first couple of classes, the people who went in there were not just students. They were business owners in the community. I had a person from Traumatina, which is the pots and pans company.
Okay.
He was in there trying to do my little social media class, just to try to understand the analytics and businesses and things like that, because it's not to say, oh, okay, come with me, as a business person, I can do it for you. If you wanted me to do it for you, I can, but it's just, here are the tools. Here's what you need. Come sit down with me and we can talk about it, because hopefully what I give you is going to be different. But yeah, so I never taught the same class twice. Everybody in my class had to talk. I came in there in jeans, heels, and a blazer. I
Okay.
wasn't about to do your little business suit. I wanted to do something different, right? I wanted to be able to
be real.
be approachable. And I think I took my heels off in one of them because my feet was hurting. But I was like, I need to tell y'all something. So
Just
let me
get
get
over it.
comfortable. I had to get
No,
comfortable. It's
feet
called
was
Boss
hurting.
Up
It's
real
Workshop.
life.
It's called Boss Up. So
real
You know,
life.
I'm gonna
with
take
a
my shoes off.
hashtag, I was like, let me take my shoes off. Let me come down and let me talk to y'all, because but I just want to do something different that they hadn't seen before, and then I ended up launching it on an online platform. So people can
What
get
would
it.
you say to people that don't want to do that? They don't want to take their shoes off. They want to stay in this box because they feel like that's the only way I can make it.
That's when you got to change your narrative, because
Is that something that you can learn, or is that something that you born with?
it's both. So like we were talking about a facade, you are who you are. When you try, I feel like when you have dissonance in yourself, when you are lying to yourself every day, you know that you can be this person, but you don't want to, that's a person problem. You got to work that out. So it's not that you don't have it. You just don't want to bring it out because I feel like God has equipped us to what we already need.
Okay.
He uses the adversity and the trials and tribulations to bring it out. Like, yeah, so you have it in you, but you just don't know how to use it. So let me show you how you need to apply this into your life. And so for those people who don't, I feel like the other side of that is pride. I shouldn't have to. I have, all
Ego.
these letters behind my name, these letters in front of my name. Who do they think
Why
they
should
are?
I?
But that's when you start to shoot your own self in the foot because you're lessening your impact.
Those automatic thoughts, but that's a different lesson.
Exactly. So it's just kind of like, at what point do you want to minimize who you are on either side? Whether you are
Yes, because
self-sabotaging
I want to
yourself.
fit in.
Well, then
I want so-and-so to like me.
Well, then they gonna like you, but you ain't gonna make much money and make a lot of impact.
But I'm liked. I'm popular.
Right, I'm popular.
I get 100 likes per post.
So I've always thought about that because I feel like you putting limitations on yourself. When you think about social media, a lot of people put limitations on themselves. So the people who don't get likes, so some of my videos that I put out there, my little podcast that I have, or my little videos.
Shout out
You're
the
not gonna say
podcast.
little.
Shout out the
Little
podcast.
officer. My podcast.
My podcast.
Yes, ma'am.
What's the
All
name
that.
of it? What's the name
So
of
it's
it?
called Full Disclosure, just like my book.
Okay, I was going there next. I
Right.
was going there
Okay.
next. Shout out to Full Disclosure.
Girl, that's naked.
All right.
It's
Take that
next-
little off of there. You shall not use that word again.
I shall
when
not
you're
with my
speaking of
head up
anything
high.
in
Yes,
reference. Amen.
yes. So when I looked at it, I'm like, and looking at myself like, this is some good stuff.
Okay.
And I only got 84 views. What's up?
All right.
But then, not to say that doesn't tell me that what I said wasn't good, but I'm not going to minimize my words and shorten my faith based off of whether or not somebody approves of me and can actually hit home. The people who God wanted to see that saw it, and they made that impact. And so I feel like when you minimize and try to quantify and qualify yourself based off of people's opinions alike, which is like monopoly money, it just means nothing in the real world. Then that's the problem. So I'm just kind of like, if you're so focused on that, you are really just limiting your potential. And if your words are only as good as those likes, then you got a lot of work to do.
A lot of times people view things and they see things and it gets the exposure because if you look underneath, it'll show you how many times it's shared.
Correct.
9 times out of 10, things of impact aren't shared as often because as they say,
Not at
you
all.
on somebody's street.
Right.
You're not on their street, you're in their driveway.
Right.
A hit dog will holler.
Yep.
I'm not going to share this because to share this as a person, even though no one knows, I feel like I'm exposing
I have to
myself
self-reflect.
because
Oh,
it
yeah.
hit me
Yeah.
in a different place.
Correct.
It hit my buttons.
Correct.
So if I share this, you may say, oh, Kaya must feel this
I'm
way.
giving my secrets
Kaya
away.
giving,
Right.
she's leaving
Yeah.
herself. It's full disclosure.
Right. Right.
She does not want you to know that because disclosure means to provide, to open up, to
Right.
give.
Right.
I don't want you to know that about me because I have you
Non-disclosure,
thinking this. How dare I let you think that? So I'm not going to share it. I'm going to look at it. It's good,
Right.
but I can't share it because I don't want you to know me like that. And that's what happens.
Yeah. I
And
mean,
it's okay.
and they save them. Like I see the people who
Yeah.
save them, and then I see the people who I wouldn't have connected with otherwise. People who I walk past all the time. And they say, Amanda, I'm not ready to talk about it now.
Do you
And
know
I-
how many times I get
And I
Yes,
just
Lord.
say, I see you.
Yes,
and I
Lord.
say, I see you. I said, I know you're not ready to talk about it now, but I just want you to know I see you. You're loved, and it's going to be okay.
And
but
you know where I am.
Yeah, so you know where to find me. You know where I'm
Right.
going to be. But, yeah, I just,
You had to come down to the people's level. And in a way, you probably felt open. You probably your feet had to hurt for a few minutes because you debated with yourself. You went back and forth on whether you should take your
Right.
shoes off. But to tap into who you are, I'm gonna put it in a different perspective. People have gotten to the point now when Fantasia performs, you do what? You wait for her to kick her
You
shoes
expect
off.
that,
Because
yeah.
you know when she take her shoes
It's
off,
about to go down.
she finna cut up.
What you
We
feeling
finna go
though?
to
See
a
what I'm
whole
saying?
nother
Right.
level.
So you have to realize
Yeah.
how people see things, how they
Right.
view things. Once you do that, everything else fall in line.
Well, when you have that confidence, you can't hide it because somebody needs you to be who you are.
correct.
Right.
Like some people need you to be real. Somebody need to see you,
Right.
Amanda,
Right.
with your shoes off, so they can be like, "Oh, I
Amanda
can
took
be
her
who
shoes
I
off.
want to be.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
I can
I can
take
do
my
mine,
shoes
right.
off. I can do
Yeah.
my thing. So we grew up in this society. Europeanized that we got to be perfect. We got to be 100%. If we say too much, we do too much. I may rub people the wrong.
Amanda. So Amanda,
goes with it.
tell me what motivated you to write this book? Full disclosure.
I feel like authenticity is a bridge to vulnerability.
Say that one more time for the person that missed that.
Authenticity is the bridge to vulnerability.
Okay. So
go ahead.
the more authentic I am, the more vulnerable I become.
Because and when you're authentic to yourself, you know you. And can't nobody tell you about you because they're not you.
True.
And when you have the world trying to tell you about yourself, how possibly?
Okay.
They don't know all the facets of you. They haven't seen the different sides of you. They don't know what you're capable of. So when you allow someone from the outside to mess up what's going on the inside, you're giving them power that they don't even deserve.
No one
And
can
that
tell you
translates
about
to
you better than you.
to love, relationships.
Exactly.
And I was
If you're not vulnerable, I can't love you.
Little bitty
I
cabins.
don't know
Well,
you.
no, if you're not true to yourself first, you can't be true to me.
What
If
talking
you gotta
about?
pretend to be something completely different,
I don't
and then
need
you come,
you.
I don't need you because we can't be real. I can't take my wig
So
off.
she can take her hair off when she
Right,
get to your house,
right.
TB.
And
When it's time to go to bed,
I may
and
have
you done
something to
left
do
the
with
club.
that.
She can take
I
her
may
hair
have
off.
something to do
So
with
she
that.
can pull her little mannequin out her trunk, sit it on your nightstand, and put her hair on your trunk and leave her hair braided up with a little stocking cap.
I'll put that in the bathroom because if I wake up and I see that, something gonna get shot.
so you saying she can look like Tasha Green from Ghost? You agree with that? From Power, Tasha Green.
The one in jail right
with
now?
the no edges.
Oh.
Your jailhouse, yeah.
We won't watch that, man. So look, a saying. Well, I have a couple phrases that you had in the full disclosure. Could you just break it down for us?
Oh, okay.
First one is, we look good on paper, but no one picks us. What is that about?
We look good on paper, but
no one
nobody
picks
picks
us.
us. Oh, I got you. Okay, so this happened when I actually got cheated on in a relationship.
Oh, talk about it.
We gonna get real. Let's get real. You
Let's
know,
do it.
You know, I'm queen of vulnerability, so let's do it.
Come on.
Yeah, take the shoes
Just
off.
take the
Take
shoes
your
off.
shoes off. I can't take these crochets out, but that's okay. But yeah, and so I look great on paper.
Okay.
I'm your ideal, woman, and I Amanda, I love you, so I'm gonna tell you that. But when I was dating this guy, what I realized was, no matter how good I just was not the kind of woman he wanted. He didn't want anybody who, was positive and he didn't feel like he deserved somebody like me because of his past. And instead of understanding what he was saying, Amanda thought she could fix him. And then he
Fix no
cheated
man.
and then he cheated on me with his ex, who was everything familiar, which is with him. And in my way, God was just like, I told you. Like, you were trying to fix him and change him. You tried to pray about him, but this was not for you. I never meant for this.
He wasn't
to get
ready
to the
for
point.
the change you were bringing.
Correct.
It wasn't you.
Right.
He wasn't ready for the change you were bringing.
Right. And so when I realized that, I was just telling people, you can be the number one draft pick, but if that person's not meant for you, that person's not meant for you. And you
Correct.
got to let it go. And
Right.
and when you try to force things to happen, they're never going to work out. But when you follow, what God's plan is for your life, things just start to unravel. Like when I became an educator, I had been fighting it for forever. But once I did, when I tell you the world was my oyster, I was out of my comfort zone, but opportunity after opportunity just fell in my lap, and it wasn't anything I had to go out of. I wanted for nothing.
It's
Still
so much
to this
easier.
day.
But
Oh
to
my
be
God!
a
So much
second
easier.
grade teacher, that had to be your calling. Second grade is a
They are the
tough,
sweetest.
but that's a tough developmental age. You either gonna get
Yes.
somewhat going towards maturity, or you gonna get 7 years old. That's still pretty.
And then low socioeconomic status. Some of the kids are like more mature because of what happens at home. And I feel like I'm that liaison. I'm that mama. I'm that big sister. I'm that auntie. I'm that hug that, especially for the black kids within my little section, they send them to me. Because I'm like, don't write him up, send him to me. We can talk this out. If he's upset, let's understand, why is this child upset at 7:42 in the morning? He just got here, and you talking to him about a pencil. Why is he mad? And
He's
then
not mad about that pencil.
I said, he don't care about that pencil. I said, when my parents just got into a fight where I had to pull my daddy off my mama. Okay, you need to go sit down and cool off, baby. Because you got a lot going on already. It's not even 8 o'clock yet. Your breath's still fresh. Like, you got a lot going on.
So
yeah.
so what
Right.
about when will we stop lying to ourselves?
Ooh, Lord.
That's a question or that's a phrase?
Well, I'm going off full disclosure
Well, no,
of the
that's
book.
what that's
That's
one
our
of my
phrase.
phrases.
Okay.
I'm going off the book.
Oh, we eating steak and potatoes.
Yeah,
now.
that's right. We going in
Yeah,
there.
we going
on,
in.
Amanda.
So when we start lying to ourselves was,
First of all, who is we?
We.
That's one. And then ourselves. Go ahead.
okay, so we is, I feel like you, yourself, and you.
Okay.
And then you have you and whatever creator, whatever positive person you have in your life, whatever you worship and whatever. I feel like that is, me and him, and then me, myself, and I. I was trying to be something that I wasn't because, when I was growing up, my parents wanted me to be a certain way. And Amanda is very unorthodox. Amanda gonna be loud. Amanda gonna have a
Are you
good
an only
time.
child?
No, I'm a big sister.
Okay.
And so I go against the grain. I'm a rebel by trade. That's just what I do. Like I'm a chain breaker.
Okay.
I come through there, and change things. But I had to realize, Amanda, you cannot fit in. You tried. It hasn't been successful.
Too much effort to fit in.
Yeah,
man.
I say it's
The
too
road
much.
less traveled.
Oh my gosh! And now I'm having the time of my life because I realized that Amanda, you don't have to be perfect.
Right.
You can be an educator, and that's okay. You don't make
That's
six
fine.
figures yet, but it's okay. You don't have to date somebody that you need to fix. Just because a man does not, need you or I need you to heal him does not mean that you don't have to be with a man like that. You can be with a man that's already put together.
Okay.
Well, no, I mean,
I'm
people,
gonna go ahead.
baby, I'm the fixer upper child. I get my toolbox, my Home Depot,
So
and I get
Beyonce's
it
Let Me
going.
Upgrade You was like your theme song.
Baby.
You like Build-A-Bears.
What? Build-A-Bears, I'm the bounty, I'm brawny, I'm
Some
the
men
fixer
need
upper.
that work. They need some carpenters to work on it.
But then
They don't.
You know, Jesus was a carpenter.
He was. And look.
Not me.
So
Try Jesus. Okay,
Come on, Toby.
Go ahead,
Shout
go
out
ahead,
to
continue.
Toby.
because I don't build. No, I'm just playing.
nah, because some people. All right. So I tell a lot of single women. I tell women this all the time. I say,
Why? Why are you talking to single women?
Well, because
What
they
could
want
you
advice.
Possibly have from you.
yes.
These are strangers, right?
So look.
Could have saw her
Face,
face.
So look.
That was hilarious.
This is what I tell them
Your
because
face stared it off.
My face always says it
the
all.
thing is when you get with somebody, you're not getting the perfect product. You're getting somebody you're gonna have to create. This is gonna be a puzzle piece that you got to put together simultaneously.
Well,
let me say
no.
this,
Come
man.
on,
Then I'm
come
gonna
on,
let
that's
you
what's wrong with
John
as
Gray.
a woman.
That's what's
I'm
wrong
gonna
with
let you.
John
I'm gonna
Gray.
let her answer it.
Say it.
But
Come
as a man,
Save 'em.
a woman can't. If he not ready to love,
Okay.
it ain't no hope, man. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't make a woman.
That's true.
A woman
Girl.
can't. It's not a woman's job to make him better if he's not ready to love. That's the first thing.
Hold on. All right.
Come
That's
on
true.
now.
All right. Go ahead.
Come on now.
Continue.
So
Speak on
if he wants to, if he ready to love, then that's the only way she can enhance him to be the man she
All right.
want to be.
What if he's ready to love, but he had a lot of baggage with him?
He's not ready to love.
He's not ready.
No,
to
he
love.
has love. No,
No,
he
he
has
ha-
it, but circumstance.
No, because
and his past.
because the thing is, those are
He
still
let that-
feelings.
he has to let that baggage
Love is
go.
not a feeling. Love is something we
Now,
do.
when I say baggage, I'm not talking about other women. I'm talking about he got in jail when he was locked up when he was
Those
earlier.
are feelings
See,
that he's
yeah,
still gonna
that's
be
got
there.
bagged. You
gotta
None
work
of that
through
shit
it.
ain't gonna
You still
change.
got to work
Okay.
through your
None of that
baggage.
ain't gonna change.
Credit could change.
Well,
His
saying.
his record could be cleared.
ladies, please don't think that this is it's God. I can't even get it out.
Stop talking.
Please
Single
don't think
ladies.
this is your
Single
this
ladies,
is your
stop
God
talking
talking
to
to
Adam.
you, talking about
Don't
I
turn
need
me
to
out.
call him back
Adam
because
said-
his credit score
Adam
is
said-
400. I need to work things
Adam
out with him.
said single women come to
Single
me.
women, stop
No,
talking to Adam.
sir.
He is not who you want to talk to.
Let it go.
Don't
Do
listen.
not
Look,
talk
women.
to DJ KO.
Don't listen to broken women. Okay,
No,
I'm not
don't.
saying y'all broken, but don't listen to another broken woman. All
Don't
right.
listen to Adam. I can call him a lot of things, but don't listen to him. He gonna have you single and still
You
trying
got
to buy
some
you
girl
shots
that was just
in the
like,
club.
yes, that's the word I needed from the Lord. I knew that's what I needed. He
Girl,
said,
he a guy. He like Steve Harvey. We got
Yeah,
to
he got
believe
big
because a
as
man
black
ain't gonna tell you what a
Women
man
come and
think.
request songs. He say, "Well, we'll get to that. Let me talk about it."
Right.
Girl, that's
So-
a man. He ain't gonna lie to me.
Going back to the book. Apologies that we would never hear.
oh Lord,
Ooh, that closure.
oh Lord.
I gotta go get my toothbrush because I need closure. But I'm gonna pass 5 stores that sell
So
toothbrushes.
actually, I have a very recent example of this,
Talk
and
about
I
it.
think you might have quoted. You maybe you
Vulnerability.
quoted. I think I see it on the paper, so I ain't gonna go into that. I see it on the paper, so I'm gonna get to that. But people have to heal from family members.
Okay.
A lot of our damage has come from family.
Amen.
And the thing is, we've been dealing with it so long that we're immune to it and don't know that it's dysfunctional or toxic. And we think dysfunctional and toxic is just applies to relationships,
Outsiders.
but it applies to friendships. It applies to family. If you wouldn't let nobody else off the street talk to you like that or treat you like that, why mama, daddy, auntie, uncle? Oh, they just no. You have to teach people how to treat you. And when
Okay.
you teach people
That's
how
true.
to treat you,
That is true.
then they have a different respect for you and be like, oh,
Amen. Windows, walls, and electric
But you know what?
lights.
That right there becomes intimidating
that's their
For
problem.
who?
for men.
That's their problem.
That's your problem.
Because if you're too strong and you're not willing to open
That's
up,
your problem.
a man be like, you know what? She's too much. She's Angela Davis.
oh, I've heard
And
that.
that's that part where
Right?
TV say you have to be able to love and let that go. You're not ready for this, so don't step to her.
Because here's my thing, and I'm not going to speak on the last one because I want to really.
How
get
many
that
you
one.
done had over here? We
But
talking
no.
about?
Oh no, you funny. Now I'm talking about your little notes.
Go
you
ahead,
got.
What's the last one? So let's go ahead and bring them together. What's
Okay.
the last one, Nelson?
No, not yet.
Not yet. Okay.
But
okay.
I'm just saying we have to you have to teach people how to treat you, and you have to have standards at the end of the day. And if you just allow anything to happen, I was the kind of person that, okay, I want to be loved, because I was told, Amanda, you too strong. Amanda, don't play that. In high school, they were terrified of me. Same thing in college.
Right,
Because
intimidation.
But they know Amanda don't play. You can't come. My curfew for my apartment was 10 p.m.
Come on.
If you did not get
10.
into my apartment
That whole
at
time
10,
you getting there at 10.
but ask people.
I'm
'Cause
not
they were
gonna
like,
Just on the second drink at 10.
they sure knew. They sure
So
knew.
what she's saying is you're not gonna be her after the club.
Right,
call.
because-
so
Yeah.
if you
Why
strike out
not?
at the club, I'm not gonna be your last
Because
resort.
9:59 and people be like, man, I got to get to Amanda's apartment. Same thing with my friends.
Oh,
10
man.
o'clock, you have to compartmentalize.
Jeez
That's
Louise.
my time to sleep and do whatever I need to do. I'm not just at your beck and call. So at 10 p.m., they knew, don't call me, don't text me, not 10:01, not 10:02.
So basically, she's saying you're gonna go to the club at 10, or are you coming over? Which one are you gonna
No,
do?
no, no,
Make a
no, no,
choice.
no. I want you, because I feel like a healthy relationship, you have your life and I have mine.
Correct.
I feel like when women try to be like, where you going, what you been doing, what you been up to, let me smell you. That's too much. If you find yourself doing that, trust and communication are the foundations of any relationship. If you have to smell him to see where he's been, I think you might need a different man.
What was you smelling though?
His pride and joy.
Okay.
Good answer. Good answer.
Not Amanda, not Amanda, not Amanda. But
Good
there's
answer.
some women who
They do.
they do that, and I'm just kind of like, if you feel like he's cheating, like Medea said,
He's cheating.
If
Absolutely.
you feel like I can't trust him, I can't
Women,
trust him.
women feel it.
Before you start
everybody-
doing all
everybody
of that,
cheats.
it happens because
Nah, don't say that.
humans. No.
There you go.
Humans and people are creatures of habit.
Yes, indeed.
Your habits will change. It can be from the food you like to the way you chew said food, to when you eat said food, to the way you dress. You may change your toothpaste. You may change your toothbrush. You may change your soap. You may put your socks on different. All of these things are habit.
Mm-hmm.
And it takes the smallest thing for a person to change said habit.
I will say before you add the next point,
Mm-hmm.
when I knew my ex cheated, God told me, you know what he's doing. What are you gonna do about it? Because it was her.
So he spoke to you.
It was the
Took
ex's
intuition.
birthday. Right.
Yeah.
It was the ex's birthday, and I didn't hear from him all day, and that's not like us. So, like you said, creature of
Why
habit.
did you know it was her birthday? How?
Because he told me.
Problem.
And so, and in my mind, and first of all,
See, me and y'all talk too much, man. Y'all telling too much secrets, man.
And so I'm just
Relax.
thinking, because Amanda was a player from the Himalayas, so I'm over
Was?
here writing down. Because I told him, I said, let me break this down for you. All you had to do was answer the phone. I said, I know all your family members. You could have blamed it on your cousin. We could have had a heyday.
Right.
But yeah, once you realize, I was like, oh, he ain't answering the phone. I said, I know where he's at. And God was like, so you gonna move on now? Are you gonna continue to settle? Are you going to go for what I have for you? And so after that, he cheated on Monday. I sent him back his stuff on Wednesday. UPS.
So I have a question.
Shout out to
goodness.
FedEx. No, it's fine.
Was the
Jeez.
conversations during the trying to fix him where you learned the ex-girlfriend's birthday, was it during the fixing? How did y'all get to that? Trying to help him unpack his baggage?
No.
Unpack his
So he
baggage?
was just telling me about it because he was saying that. And the crazy part about it is his friends were just saying, you don't deserve Amanda. Because there's some of his friends who knew me, and there's some of his friends
And they
who
were
had
about
heard
to
about
shoot their
me.
shot.
Yeah, and they were like, Amanda is a different caliber of woman. Like, you can't just, how did you get her attention? Like, it wasn't like, oh, we want to support you. It was like, how did you get Amanda? And so he began to feel bad about himself, but he could see the change in himself. He started doing this, his habits and stuff changed, but he was just telling me about the situations, and once he realized, he just couldn't let that go. I feel like they have like a soul tie, and they just can't. After 10 years, they just can't let each
Can't let
other
it go,
go.
yeah.
Do y'all dysfunction
That's
together?
what I said. I can't. I said, you on your own, baby.
So,
Toxicity
speaking of men,
fix each other out.
what are your non-negotiables? Because in full disclosure, you talk about non-negotiables,
Yes,
and that's
I
what you was
did.
waiting for me to get to. I see it in your face.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
Non-negotiables.
All your front teeth.
And yeah, right. 501. No, that's
Hey,
right.
play some soft music when she said it, bro.
right.
Get some soft
Play some
music
soft
going.
music.
Put some John Legend on.
You need some Erica Badu.
I'm on and on, feeling high. My money's gone.
See, that is. That's what you need.
No, okay.
Non-negotiables.
So my non-negotiables are, I don't do disrespect.
Okay.
I don't do dishonesty. I don't do people who lie on me, and I don't do people who are inauthentic. Because a man who has certain qualities will never be broke. Will never be,
Got that
destitute.
hustle mentality.
Right, he can be a hustler. My dad is a hustler. So my dad got streams of income, but that's because he wants to provide for his wife.
Correct.
You know what I mean? His family.
His family.
And having a man like that, so once you see them qualities, you ain't got to worry about a man like that. And so with him, I was like, wow, you're not even securing yourself. And when I looked him in his eyes, towards the end of the night when we were talking, I saw that he was just looking at me like, I just don't deserve you. Like, I decided to look at this like I don't know what to do with somebody like you. Because, like, this is who I am. I'm not this person who I've been telling you I was. I can't only, and that's that inauthentic part. I can only play this role for so long.
How dare you see
Right.
that?
Yeah, and so then he's basically looking at me like, oh, you really are who you say you are. You really are like
He
a
thought you was
genuine
fronting.
person. Right. And then when he saw that, I was like, yeah, baby, we can't. Because my spirit woman
But
was
you
like,
do
girl, get up
know
and go. It's
There's
time.
a social media people, and then there's real people.
And
So when he say you really are who you say, so
yeah.
so that means on social media she
He's
can put
something
up this
else.
front. I'm this strong black
Yeah.
woman. I
Right.
have this, and this.
Right.
But in the
Yeah.
real world,
When
I'm
it's
an
in your
insecure
face,
woman
yeah.
letting a man run over me, do whatever
He's
he
probably
can do
testing
to
you out.
get a woman.
And
I mean
that's
to
what I
get a
saw.
man. So that's what he means.
because
I mean,
it felt like when
it's
I
two
was
sides.
standing there looking at it, my dad said, you know, sometimes you don't get to where God wants you to be because you can't let go of the person who you used to be. So you
Okay.
can't be the person God called you to be because you can't let go of your past and your
Right.
past dealings.
That's baggage.
And when I was still sitting there in the section, I saw the girls he was dancing with and how they were behaving, and then how me and my friends were behaving, and then the look on his face, and I was just like,
Two
baby,
different things.
this is past, possibly future, and then you're in the middle. And I realized if you deal with stuff like that, nothing wrong with the women. You know, I don't know their story. I don't know what kind of environment they were
Right.
in. But I feel like it wasn't until then, because we had been chilling, you know, at each other's houses and all that kind of stuff. And he was really respectful. But once God was like, let me put you into a different environment. Let me show you. Let me show you. Because otherwise, if I wouldn't have gone, I would have never known.
Right.
I said, not only are you not a king, you a jester.
Oh.
Do you still feel like you have something to prove if we're married?
yes.
Like,
'cause
when
it's
is it
not
going to be
you.
enough? Right.
You're looking for them attaboys from your boys.
Right, and so now he has his attaboys, just he doesn't have
By
me.
himself, right?
Now we do gotta let the people know when you're in a relationship and dating, you gotta put people in different situations.
Yes,
So you
indeed.
know how to react, but still be able to have fun. So if your man want to take you
tried.
to the club, he sit, but he got to know how to act.
He was
though.
conflicted because he wanted to show you that I can invite you to this.
I can
but
invite
he
you
didn't know
out.
how to. He didn't know how to control the narrative.
Absolutely.
Well, because
He
with
did
the,
not know how to control
and the
the
other
narrative.
girls, they knew not to cross or try to say anything. Like, they stayed distant for a reason. I knew something had happened between them, but I'm just like, baby, your player
That was a
status.
player mistake.
Yeah,
though,
it was,
man.
and that's
can't
the
show all your
control the
inventory.
narrative.
Trying to get everybody, man. He was
Control the
hungry, bro.
Hey,
And I
your
guess-
inventory can't come out.
and his
everywhere,
and his
right?
friends were looking at him like
He wanted Whataburger,
his friends were looking at him.
Wendy's.
Yeah, his friends were just like.
Yeah, that's
They're like, they told me,
disrespectful,
I'm
man.
so
That's
sorry.
disrespectful.
They're like, I'm so sorry. Are you okay? And I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. But God was like, look, is this what you want? Because I could have easily just been like, oh, okay, he's just having fun.
But people make exceptions.
But if I overlook, and that's what I said, when you feel like your non-negotiables become negotiable, you're settling. You're telling people you deserve.
But
You
some
don't.
women feel like they have to because they say the pool is so limited.
So
Your faith.
you know.
That's
and I'm
Right.
going there.
Yeah.
So this is going to be my last question.
Is
So now, also this part about the full disclosure. We're still
Go
in full
ahead. I'm
disclosure.
open.
The
Go
last
ahead.
one,
Go ahead.
forgiveness.
Forgiveness.
Amen.
Forgiveness.
So with forgiveness,
Are you willing to forgive? Are you willing to be forgiven?
so forgiveness and what I've learned, you know, with listening to stuff in church, forgiveness is really an exchange, right?
Okay.
So when I'm doing forgiveness, I'm exchanging. So this is when God is like, hey, somebody hurt you, give it to me. You can give it to me. You can
Okay.
forgive. You can let it go. And if you give it to me, I'll give you double your trouble.
Okay.
I'll multiply that hurt. I'll multiply what they did and give you, 10 times, 20 times that, but you got to give it over to me. And you can't want to seek revenge on your own. So with this circumstance, I really was feeling this dude. And, any other, betrayals that I've had before. And I just said, God, get it. I can't do this. I said, I mean, of course, I could make phone calls and do whatever, but God knows how to get people better than you did. So stuff that I might do may not even faze that person.
So you just basically turn it over to God.
I sure did, because you have to, because I feel lighter.
Okay.
I feel good because I realized I gave it to the only person who really knows how to get that done.
Because it takes a lot to
So-
keep it going, to try to seek that revenge.
Yes.
You have to carry a certain level of remembrance, a certain
Correct.
level of anger, a certain level of angst to try to get back at a person.
Yep.
And that's in a relationship. That's in that's in boyfriend girlfriend relationships. That's in
Right.
friendships. That can come with family members.
Family,
That can
yep.
come with anybody. And so that's why I say, I think I told you this early on, like first podcast. You would be hard pressed to get me to say I don't like somebody.
Right.
I can put you in a category of don't fool with, or you just there as someone I know. But it takes too much energy
To
to
hate a
conjure
person.
up and remember and dwell on not liking a
Right.
person. Because you have to remind yourself why you don't like them.
Oh, there
You have
she
to-
go. Like,
You have to figure out your answer. When somebody may see me, you talk to Amanda, then I got to figure out what my answer going to be.
Correct.
That's too much time. Yeah, no, I haven't. That's it. Why not? I just haven't. That's all I have for you.
You know what
well,
I
we
think?
have different
It's
circles,
just-
yeah.
You know what I think?
What you think?
I think this is how God
Lord.
works.
Go ahead.
The people that we don't like, they have the answers that we need for a certain thing.
Okay. All right.
You
I'll
see
go
what-
See
there.
what I'm
No,
saying?
I'll go
I'm
there with
afraid.
you because I'll go there with you because had it not been for this individual, because of him, believe it or not,
But she didn't say she didn't like him.
yeah, no, I don't have anything against him. He's just my cup. He's just not my cup of tea, and I'm not his Henny straight. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like we're very different, but because of him,
Not like that.
my relationship with my mom got closer.
See?
Because we were able
It's
to reveal
always
some
something.
things. Because of him, I knew, and I think God's only purpose for him in my life was this kind of man exists, Amanda. This man with these
Stay
qualities
away.
that you've been looking for,
Stay away.
he does exist, but this ain't it.
Character
This is just a
building.
ski taste of what I want to give you. So
What do you
don't
take
get
away?
invested.
Right.
He's not
Right.
really here to stay. He's just to remind you, keep doing what you're doing.
Right.
Your husband's on the way. He may have some
To
qualities,
show
but
you
just
what you want.
just
what
start
you
expecting
like.
him.
Right.
Have that faith again.
Right.
Be okay with falling in love again, and understand that he just came here to tell you
It's out there.
it's out there.
But
And
doesn't that
just
go
don't stop
back to
expecting.
the simple understanding of everything happened for a reason?
Boy,
Yeah.
Romans
Like
8
why
and
don't
28, child.
we understand that?
And
when
everything is meant
things-
for
Because
good.
we want to mold it. We want to make
Right,
it
we
what
want
it
it-
is.
right.
We want it fast.
Well,
so
we forget we're not in control. That's the
we forget
we
we're not in control.
Glad you came.
Right. And you
What would you
understood it.
tell someone if they said, okay, you felt disrespected? He may not have thought that, and you went back and told him how you felt, and he came back and apologized and said he wouldn't do it again. What are your thoughts?
No, because
You didn't forgive him.
no, I'm sorry. I did forgive him, but
You just
here's
keep
the
on
thing.
backwards.
But
Just
see,
because you forgive doesn't mean.
but you can
that's the
forgive and
part
forget,
people
but you
forget.
remove access. My
Right.
love, you at first you had that access and we were real close, but now that you've done that, I understand.
That's
baby.
messed up.
No, I'm sorry, it's not standards. It's he was trying to negotiate a
Non-negotiable, right.
non-negotiable. You don't try to tell me but see, in itself, an apology and
Right.
trying to take him back, that's a negotiation, baby.
True.
It may
You know
be a
what?
delayed negotiation.
What are we saying? We're not giving dudes second chance?
But
No,
she,
no, 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 no.
But she shouldn't be having to
Basically,
have that
so many words.
conversation.
Because
It's
because
cut dry.
What
but-
does a second chance?
She's
supposed to
laid the
look like?
foundation
Tell
of
us
what
that.
she wanted. She
Correct.
shouldn't be having to have a conversation and the opportunity for him to have to apologize. She let him
But
know
he's
what
not
she
perfect.
wanted.
He's gonna make mistakes.
No. It'll
That's
be
a big
different.
mistake.
But listening to her say, if this was their first date, that's different. She said they've chilled at each other's houses. They've
Yep.
spent time.
Yep.
She's an open book. He knows what she expects. He knows
But
what
it's still
she
new
wants.
though. It's still fresh.
But he couldn't get out of his own way
To
and tell
be
the jump
happy.
offs to stand down.
Correct.
He wanted the high side in front of his boys.
And that's
he
the
couldn't
problem.
let his boys see
Cause
his
and
true
effect.
self.
That was his actions.
and
now.
then when I
Let's
saw
Let's
it,
defend the brothers.
Right.
We got to defend the brothers.
So when you saw
Hey,
it,
some-
you over
hey.
here with the single
But so-
ladies.
and-
Which way
and
you
so-
going, Pastor? Which way you going, Pastor?
Call me John Gray.
We try to help everybody.
Which way you going, Pastor?
but so when I saw it, and so I made eye contact with him to let him know I know I know
Okay.
what's going on.
What he did, look the other way.
Oh, he didn't know what to say. He was a ghost face because
I would have hit the cup.
So
So you had come to the conclusion
Yeah,
that
back
these
to
two
dance.
females
So-
knew of each other
they
at
know
separate
they know
times,
as
but they
know
were okay
biblically.
with getting
They
their
know
spots.
as they know biblically.
Oh,
And
okay.
so because they knew, because you can tell when the energy shifts in a room.
Yeah, that's
and
true.
he was
they
Absolutely.
had
very
accepted
different.
their thing. They
Correct,
accepted
and
their
they were,
spots.
but the
Okay.
other friends were like dancing with them and everything. So you're known, like this is what y'all do. And so I'm such a gem. She couldn't walk down the stairs, so I helped her down the stairs. And as I'm going down the stairs, I
You
looked
getting
him
your
dead in his.
blessings.
I looked at him
Okay.
dead in his face, and I just smiled and I said, "It's okay, I got her. We're gonna get her to where she needs to be."
Cold blooded.
You know
And
what I'm saying?
like,
Cold
so,
blooded.
because here's my thing though, I
Cold
could have
as
easily
ice.
left her where she was, but I'm just gonna show you the kind of woman that I am.
Okay.
Even though you decide to do this is not her fault. This don't have nothing to do with her. I don't know her. I
Right,
know you.
right.
And you know
that's
my
dope, and that's
expectations.
dope.
And that's
dope.
because
Because I'm not
to
about
him
to-
as a man
yeah.
to let her get like that and to allow her to try to get.
But
that,
didn't want
get
anything to
down
do
and
with
stuff.
her. But then didn't want to help her. Didn't want to help her get situated or anything like that. And I'm just like, wow, you're a class act. Because
She
not
was
only
drinking out your section.
right, because not only do y'all know her, but you're willing to let her struggle. So what will you do to me?
What
You
makes
have
me different.
respect is the bare minimum. And if I tell you, if you really cared about somebody, there's no way I would disrespect somebody.
But that goes back to what we struggle with in today's society, with our black women feel like we're not there for you as black men. So
But
even simple situations
Correct.
like that.
When she
Correct.
said her non-negotiables
Yeah.
was no disrespect.
Period.
my mind automatically went to, are you talking about him disrespecting you or your self-respect?
Yeah, that's what I thought
when
about
she
too.
said that,
That's what I thought
my
about that
mind
too.
automatically went to that.
Because
honestly.
it's both questions. Because
It's
not
relative.
only are you going to allow him to disrespect you, or are you going to not say anything and disrespect yourself? Because at that point, you're like, Amanda, it's not like you didn't know. Now that you know, now that you've acknowledged it, hold yourself accountable for your next actions.
We talking to a lot of
And what
women
you
out
gonna
there
do?
that's dealing
I
with
have
a
a
lot
question.
of shit right
I have
now.
a question.
Like in a relationship.
Men got to
Everybody
how
don't.
they are because we allowed
Because
it.
if you, and I just not to cut you off, but I agree with you completely.
We
because
allowed that. We set this up like it is.
back in the olden
from
days,
days.
we didn't have anything, so Paw knew he the only one with the job,
Right, he
and they're at
provided.
home, so I can do whatever I want to do.
Because
Because
my
guess
mom was
what?
raising the kids.
Right, I pay the bills, and but then as things carried on, girls became, and I'm gonna go here.
Independent.
I feel like no, we don't want to be independent. We want to be side pieces.
we wanna be
We want to
taken
be
care of.
we want to be taken care of.
What's wrong
But
with that?
but see, women get a. I feel like women do a disservice to themselves. No, women do a disservice to themselves because you don't think enough of yourself
Okay.
that you are smart enough, capable enough to get your own stuff, but instead you just want to be a part. I don't want to be with you. I just want to have a piece of you. So if you got to see me on the weekends, that's fine because I just want a piece of you because I just can't be by myself. I want to settle.
What's the song?
And
SZA
I'm okay.
had
Wait.
The Weeknd.
I don't quote this often, and I don't quote much that
When they
people
threw-
say often. And when I'm walking, I actually truly hear the words of most songs because I have my headphones in when I'm working out.
SZA.
That's when I hear the true lyrics of songs. And I don't know which song it is.
It's SZA.
No,
Weeknd.
Freak Nasty. I think
Yeah,
it is.
I'm gonna say Megan. I'm gonna say
Okay.
Megan.
Megan says, and this resonates so loud, if he just buying you a meal, he ain't your trick. But there are so many people out there feeling like, girl, he bought me something to eat. He took me to the
Yeah,
turkey
went there,
leg
yeah.
hut.
Women read
yeah.
into their own interpretations, and that's a whole nother
Right,
sermon.
but that just goes into what are you looking like?
but not
How
all,
do we get there?
Because we settled.
Because
We
they
thought
listen
that
to
we didn't-
music, they listen to Megan Thee Stallion, Cardi B, and saying, "I got my own, you get your own. I can do what I want
But
to
they
do."
got their own though.
They- but
That's
you
the
don't
thing.
have your own.
Offset, but
can't
Offset
follow
didn't
that
make Cardi B. Cardi
at
B
all.
made Cardi B.
Correct.
Cardi
Megan
B
Thee
made
Stallion
Cardi
made
B.
herself, but
She
they
did.
listen to these other girls. Baby, they was already made. You the one that's over here. They got Megan was still going to TSU. She was still
You
getting
didn't
herself
follow the
together.
blueprint.
Right. And so that's the problem. People are like, well, I can just sell with my body, baby. Beauty only gets you so,
So far.
Well,
That's
we
true.
got to understand, too, all this been going on
Yeah, from the beginning of time.
30,
Right.
40, 50 years. It just look different now.
Did we
That's
allow
all.
it?
We
That-
need,
so that goes
but
back
we
to my
need, we
original
need
question.
all these type of people to get through.
Baby, it's
To
desperation
get
and
through life.
settling.
We
That's all
need
I
the
say.
thoughts. We need the hoes. We need the ballers that gonna trick. We need
negotiators
everybody.
that's gonna renegotiate.
So therefore-
negotiations.
It's
You
all
need to
about learning
negotiate character
experiences.
building experiences. Everybody
There
needs
it
the
is.
character
Everything is a
building.
learning experience, man.
Daddy.
So Amanda done came here and messed up the
Hey,
podcast.
she-
Oh, my
Amanda coming
goodness.
back.
She done showed
I
out,
can't
huh? She done
wait.
showed
I
out.
can't wait.
But we appreciate you for coming, though.
I'm thankful you guys gave me the opportunity. I had a blast. I got to come back though.
So could you tell the people your handle, what you got
Where to
going on?
find you?
So you can find me
Podcast.
at Amanda Materre. I also have at Shaper, which is my business page. Go to full disclosure book
Okay.
from myshopify.com. And I'm open to talking to anybody about anything. I'm the queen of vulnerability.
It's your Southern Jag.
Hey.
There you have it. This
I don't
is
have that much.
Woo.
I'm
This-
gonna call you to be vulnerable, but not
Hey.
live. Like
we gotta have wine.
this
and
is
some
a culturally
crowd.
distinct podcast. This is your boy
Yes, sir.
DJ KO.
K Jack in the building.
TB from the SIP.
Peace and love to you guys.
You didn't let Amanda say bye.
Hello.
Oh, she said her handle.
She
but
said, right.
She did say
Bye, guys.
There it is.
Yeah,
She said it's so
guys.
seductive, boy. I
She
tell
only
y'all.
said it to the
Amanda
guys.
Materre.
We're gonna open up an old singles thing.
Oh my goodness.